Hello again, no bullshit here. Today we're taking a look at a video from Tara Babcock called Is Incest Really That Wrong? Spoilers, it is that wrong, but I don't think that's what Tara is gonna say. Let's check it out.
I've got a pretty controversial topic for you guys today. We're gonna talk about incest. Why is it so bad?
Oh, hello.
Hey guys, this is a topic I've been wanting to tackle for a while. I'm actually very excited about it because I think it's something that a lot of people won't delve into. When I made my popular opinions video, unpopular opinions, I mean, someone mentioned in the comments that they don't think that incest is that bad. And that's something that I've always thought and something that I would—
Well, you thought incest wasn't that bad because you weren't raised properly. You don't know what you're talking about, Tara. People are only liking and watching this drivel because of your big fake tits. That may also be why no one's ever told you incest was wrong. All of your white trash family wants to fuck you. Shit, they probably already have a few times. That would explain why she's promoting incest acceptance on her slutty YouTube channel.
What is incest? Asked no one ever, but just in case, if someone doesn't know, it's basically having a romantic or sexual relationship with someone in your bloodline. A lot of people cut it off at first cousin. Some people think that dating a first cousin is also gross.
Everyone I know thinks dating their cousins is gross. Especially your first. Come on, Tara. And no fucking your second cousins either. Shit, I would nope on third cousins too, just to be safe.
As always, everything here is just my opinions and how I see things, and I would love to hear how you guys see things. If you disagree with me, that's completely fine. And obviously you can do whatever you want, but if you feel like just hating me, downvoting the video, saying some rude shit, and then leaving, you can totally do that, but I would prefer if we actually had a conversation where you brought up points and told me why I'm wrong instead.
Well, I'm here to do just that. Incest is gross and wrong. Why? The short answer is because it's psychologically damaging to have sexual relationships with your parents, siblings, or even your cousins. Fucking your mom or dad will mess your head up no matter who you are. Even the strongest people are gonna face some kind of problems as a result. Personality disorders, PTSD, attachment issues. Incest can leave the kinds of emotional scars that will haunt you for your life, ruining the victim's chances of having normal, healthy relationships. Incest is a deviant sexual behavior and it should not be championed or promoted by big boob bimbos like Tara Babcock.
One of the main arguments as to why incest is completely wrong is because you have a much higher than normal rate of child deformities, retardation, basically just birth defects in general. Obviously, if I was to theorize why this is the case, I would say that the mixing of different genes is just healthier. For instance, animals and insects that reproduce asexually are actually just replicating their own DNA onto their offspring, so it's basically like a copy of themselves.
And why do you always end sentences like this? You like to explain things with the tone that always rises? What you're saying about anti-incest biology is right? But can you please stop talking like this?
If there are any flaws in the genes, they're not going to be improved in the next generation, less likely to survive diseases, things like that. Honestly, science is not my field of expertise, and I haven't read much into this, but I would surmise—
Don't surmise. Just don't. Stop using big words to try and sound smart. No one's gonna mistake you for a smart person, especially on this topic. Smart people are not okay with incest. There's a reason why you only see idiots and creepers supporting this shit.
that the closer you get to that asexual reproduction, aka reproducing with someone who has similar genes to you, the closer you get to that issue. I feel the need to say that I have never been attracted to anyone in my family. I have no agenda with this video other than to just have a discussion with you guys and tell you my opinions because they're very different from the norm.
Nice try, trying to cover your ass. But you do have an agenda, Tara. Your video is titled, Is Incest Really That Bad? You're challenging a taboo act condemned by every civilization for millennia. And now you say you've never been attracted to family members? You would never commit incest? Well, that means one of two things. First, you're either lying and you really want to have incest, maybe you already have, or second, this could be you virtue signaling, showing you're cool and hip and open-minded. You're so liberal you can't even condone incest. You're that afraid of being called a bigot.
So what if this unholy incestuous relationship doesn't bear children? For instance, it's a homosexual relationship, or one of the parties or both don't want to have kids or can't have kids.
You see, she's equating incest with homosexuality. She thinks she has to be okay and accepting of both these unnatural acts. According to her, I'm personally fine with people having butt sex or scissor sex, as long as it's not with family, and I will happily condone incest. No, not cool. And I also think it's a bit insulting to gay people to compare their sex and love to incest.
But why is that? Now let's think about some reasons why it wouldn't be okay. One of the reasons is a power dichotomy. Think about a mother and a child or a father and a child. When you're raising a child and you're an authority figure, and then in adulthood you guys end up dating, there can be huge power dynamics there that make it very unhealthy for the child.
Well, yeah, duh. I said this before in not so many words, but to add to it, parents fucking with their kids has got to be the worst kind of incest. I mean, that's just so messed up. The kid was raised by the parent who is in a perfect position to manipulate them. Even if they're grown up and consenting adults, the parents still have power over the kids. This is predatory and wrong. This brings me to the slippery slope of incest. You see, if you start off by justifying sex with cousins, then you'll inevitably think sex with siblings is okay, and next thing you know, you're sleeping with your kids. Once this behavior is normalized, all roads lead to people becoming sexual predators to their kids. That's why incest in all forms should be frowned upon.
As you guys know, I am not a fan of saying, well, that's normal, or well, that's natural, and then acting as though that's the right course of action for sure, just based on that logical fallacy.
Logical fallacy, huh? Oh, you used a big word there. You must be smart and totally not a ditzy blonde desperately hanging her breasts out for attention. No way.
But if you do raise a child under the pretenses that they should have a romantic relationship with you, you can definitely psychologically warp a child. But honestly, when it comes to like cousins or long lost brothers and sisters who meet up one day and fall in love, I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable, but this perfect, ideal, nobody gets hurt situation isn't that realistic. It's so rare, it's not even worth mentioning actually. 1 in a million. In the real world, there's always going to be complications with incest. Psychological, emotional, and possible pregnancy complications. So why even risk it? There's billions of people on this planet to fuck. You don't need to screw your family.
I honestly believe that there are people out there that just aren't affected by our biology. They aren't disgusted by the idea of having sex with someone that they grew up with, which is another point I'd like to make. Often when someone says, no, he's like a brother to me, or no, she's like a sister to me, that usually means that you've been in contact with them when you were younger and kind of grew up with them, or you've divulged so much about yourself that there's no mystery left, and then that person can't see you as anything more than a brother or sister or family member anymore, because it's like you know them too well.
This is true. It's been proven that humans naturally lose sexual attractions to people who they grew up with, like close family and friends. That's why normal, healthy families, with a married mother and father, raising their kids together, they aren't as likely to get these incestual urges. It's the dysfunctional, divorced, and separated families that tend to have these problems more. Because the daddy left town or the sibling lives with their other mother, people are split up, unbalanced, and they're the ones more likely to produce incest acceptors like Tara. If you want to find out how you feel about incest, just ask yourself this: would I want to fuck my parents or siblings? If your answer is no, congratulations. You're against incest and you're probably a well-balanced, level-headed human being. If you said yes, either your mom is smoking hot or you're from a broken family who didn't raise you right. I'm truly sorry. Don't get me wrong, I understand some people could feel sexual urges or attractions to family. That can happen to anyone, but acting on these urges is in your control. There's one other reason people defend incest. It's like I said about Tara before. She's virtue signaling. She wants people to know she's open and accepting of all love and relationships between consenting adults. This is a perversion of the pro-LGBT agenda on the left. Many other libtarded idiots have taken this stance on relationships so far, they say incest is okay now. If you ever want to trip up a Democrat, ask them if gay marriage is okay. Then ask them about incest. Mark Dice did a pretty funny video interviewing people about this. Let's take a look real quick.
You agree that two consenting adults should be able to have a sexual relationship of their preference without being called disgusting or perverts, correct? Yeah. So if one of your best friends was having sex with his sister, would you say that's disgusting or perverted?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're an incest phobe then? So you are judgmental about two consenting adults. Let's say they're not going to have children though.
Well,
so
it could still happen.
They're not going to have children. They're having a consensual incestuous relationship. So you think that's disgusting?
Well, that's fine. If they're not going to have kids, there's no reason for me to judge them.
So there's nothing wrong with a brother and a sister having sexual relations with each other?
Not if they're not going to have kids.
Totally normal?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Just checking.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That was interesting. The liberal logic kind of breaks down when you start asking about incest. It's pretty fucking hilarious. Next, let's take a look at some other examples of people who are cool with incest. We've seen the blonde bimbo Tara Babcock, who is an attention whore and probably mentally scarred from abuse, which sucks. But now, let's take a look at what other kinds of people on YouTube are pro-incest.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to take a moment to talk about incest. And I feel like this is a really like taboo topic. Like, you don't talk about incest. It's just like it's something that's just like not discussed. It's like one of those like forbidden things. Like we just don't go there. Like no one talks about it. Just keeps it covered up. It just nope. Let's pretend it doesn't exist, kind of thing. And I don't know. This is kind of, it keeps coming up in my life in like various ways.
Looks like another winner to me.
Yeah, hey, what's up, YouTube? All I was going to say was this, is that all the people that say this for the law, that you can't do incest, honestly, I just find this is that that's just stupid right there. Your ancestors, your great aunts, everything like that done incest. I don't know anyone that has not done incest in their family.
I think I believe everyone you know do incest, and I'm sure your weak grasp of the English language has something to do with thinking incest is okay, too.
It happens. Now, the only thing is that when people say this, is that incest is wrong, it does affects, it's like, yeah, maybe if you do like, one family member does incest, they have a kid, and that kid does incest, and so on and so forth, and yeah, then maybe it will do wrong, but other than that, one kid won't do shit.
That's great logic right there. Having one kid from incest might not do shit, but this brings us back to incest's slippery slope, because once a generation legitimizes incest, then what's to stop the next ones from doing it too? The parents will think it's okay, and then the kids will think it's okay, and then you got generation after generation of incestual, developmentally challenged children. This is why your intelligence is lacking, buddy, and I really do feel sorry for you. Jen and Dylan look like real winners to me. Definitely a group I want to associate with. Seems like those two, like Tara, are overlooking the psychological issues that come up when you have sex with your family. Sure, in a perfect world, two adults could have sex and then move on with their lives like normal, but if you're fucking your mom, dad, brother, or sister, that's never gonna happen. One last thing before we go. An example of why incest can be so fucked up. That poor girl. They try to say she's a consenting adult, but she looks like she's being manipulated to me. She's got some real daddy issues for sure. That's why she's so obsessed with trying to please him. This is the kinds of fucked up dynamics in play in incestual relationships. Parents taking advantage of kids, older siblings manipulating their younger siblings. It's just wrong. That's about it for today's show. What do you guys think? To incest or not to incest? That is the question. And how big do you think Tara's personalities are? Comment below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. Good night, everybody.
We on that bullshit, yeah, yeah. We on that bullshit, yeah, yeah. We on that bullshit, yeah. In the arms of the angel.
Hello, everyone. We wanted to take an extra minute and have you take a look at these little cute guys. That's Kittens and Mitten Kittens and Stinker and Whittly Doo. Those are some of the harmless kittens that have been surviving off of the No Bullshit Patreon account. Go down to No Bullshit Patreon store and donate your money now to save cats and save lives, and just be a good person, and don't be a dick. You know, don't be a dick for once. For one time, give us your money to save cats. One more way you can support the No Bullshit Show is buying our merch. We've got all kinds of shirts, mugs, white shirts, black shirts, hoodies, all kinds of cool stuff at our Teespring store. If you're looking for some swag, I definitely recommend checking it out. And all the proceeds go right back into the show so I can make more videos for you guys. Thanks so much for your time. Goodbye again.